Tens of thousands of homes are still without power in England, Wales and Northern Ireland following Storm Darragh. The clean-up operation is very much underway. However, flood warnings remain in place and rail passengers have been warned to expect continued delays to services. Meanwhile, some areas are still affected by blustery conditions, meaning that it may not be safe for engineers to complete their work and get people's power back on. Well, the owner of the Crystal Hut on Llandudno Pier, Kris Meredith, joins me now. Kris, good of you to come on and talk to us tonight because you've had quite the weekend. Talk to me about what's happened to your hut.
I mean, it's just been, as a small business owner, we've just been absolutely devastated because, for one, we've had storm warnings and we kind of get prepared, but you never believe it's going to be that bad. Now, the pier is nearly 150 years old, and never in its history has one of the old Victorian huts actually left the pier. So as you can imagine, on Saturday, we basically just went as far as we could to have a look because it's my business. It was the start of our Crystal Hut journey on Llandudno Pier, and I had to make sure it was okay. And we went, and basically the horror driving into Llandudno on Saturday, I've just never ever seen anything like it. And to see your business there, basically with all the forces of Mother Nature, and I just hoped and I just prayed because I truly, truly believed that day that we wouldn't have a business. And that's quite distressing because I would never have thought that. We kind of think the pier's been there for 150 years. It's withstood 2 world wars, the amount of storms, and it's still stood strong. And of course, come Saturday, and unfortunately, you can see in your images and your videos there, one actual hut there is actually left the pier and crashed into another hut at the end of the pier. One of the ice cream huts absolutely got destroyed and bits is in the sea. It's been found today. A big ice cream counter has been found washed up. So it's been truly devastating. I mean, for us as a business, but also for everybody around the country, around the world that have been to Llandudno and been to the pier.
Kris, have you been able to get onto the pier? Is it safe to go on and have a look? Because I think I'm right in saying that hut that sort of left the ground and was propped up against another hut, your hut was the one it was propped up against. Is that right? Do you know the extent of the damage? Presumably, you're just thinking that everything's gone, which is a nightmare scenario for you in the build-up to Christmas.
Well, Sarah, mine's actually to the right of that hut. So the one, luckily, that it's actually smashed into, there was nothing in there. But to answer your question, no, we've not been able to go on the pier because, for one, it's just not safe to be able to do that. And of course, my hut itself, it's actually got severe damage to the roof. The basically metals come off. It's been lifted. So physically, all, our crystals, everything we have as a business is inside our hut. But right now, we just don't know what the damage is. I mean, fingers crossed it's not severe, but we just don't know. And of course, with a pier, everybody walks on the pier, but don't necessarily always think about underneath. And of course, for a pier to be able to be safe, for the public to be able to go onto it, it's the underneath that has to be right. And of course, tomorrow there's going to be an inspection with the pier, and of course, then only will be the full damage of what's to come. And we just don't know when we'll physically be allowed on there to even have a look, never mind open as a business.
Look, Kris, I really hope that you get some good news ahead of Christmas and you are able to open. If not, can people find you online? Can we find you online, Kris?
Of course you can. It's TheCrystalHutStore.com.
Brilliant. All right, Kris, good luck.
Thank you.
We look forward to catching up when you're back up on your feet. But thank you so much for jumping on to speak to us. Kris Meredith there, his business, the Crystal Hut on Llandudno Pier, severely affected by Storm Darragh. So many businesses affected in the run-up to Christmas. Still to come here on the programme.